The moment he kissed another girl at a party while his friends filmed my reaction was not the moment I broke. It was the moment I realized exactly how much power I had. Because everything they used to humiliate me, I used it to destroy him. My name is Claire. I am 21 years old and I spent 2 years dating someone who turned emotional manipulation into an art form. This is not a story about heartbreak, this is a story about what happens when someone underestimates exactly who they are dealing with. By the way, I am always curious about who is listening to these stories. Let me know in the comments what city you are watching from. I have a feeling this happens more than people want to admit, no matter where we live. Aaron and I met during sophomore year at Northwestern University in Chicago. He was on the rowing team. 6'3" with shoulders that caught attention across campus. The kind of guy who could flash a smile and make you forget whatever point you were trying to make. We met at a coffee shop near campus where I worked part-time. He came in every morning at 7:30 sharp, ordered the same black coffee with 2 sugars, and always left a $5 tip. For 3 weeks, he did this without saying more than thank you. Then one morning, he slid a folded napkin across the counter with his number written inside. I figure if I am going to keep coming here every day, we might as well have dinner first, he said. The confidence was magnetic. Our first 6 months felt like something out of a movie. Aaron introduced me to his teammates like I was a trophy he had won. He held my hand at parties, brought me flowers after his races, and talked about our future like it was already decided. His friends, Dylan, Marcus, and Justin, called me the one who finally locked him down. I thought it was a compliment back then. The changes started small, so small I convinced myself I was imagining them. It began with comments disguised as jokes. At a team dinner, Aaron mentioned how I had texted him 3 times during practice. She cannot go 4 hours without checking in, he said, laughing. Everyone laughed with him. I laughed too, even though I had only texted once to ask what he wanted for dinner. By spring semester, the jokes had evolved into a performance. Aaron would screenshot my texts and share them in his group chat, adding commentary about how territorial I was getting. If I asked him not to stay out until 3 in the morning, he would tell his friends I was tracking his location like the FBI. If I mentioned feeling uncomfortable when girls from his classes messaged him at midnight, he would shake his head and say I needed to work on my trust issues. Dylan started calling me the warden whenever he saw me. Marcus would make whip-cracking sounds when Aaron answered my calls. Justin would ask Aaron if he needed permission. Slips signed before going out. They thought it was hilarious. Aaron never stopped them. I tried talking to him about it privately. We were in his apartment, and I explained how the constant jokes made me feel disrespected. Aaron rolled his eyes and pulled me onto his lap. Baby, you are taking this way too seriously. The guys are just messing around. If you react like this, you are proving them right about you being controlling. That became his favorite weapon, accusing me of being exactly what he was telling everyone I was. When I asked him to stop flirting with girls at parties, I was jealous. When I questioned why he needed to follow dozens of Instagram models, I was insecure. When I found messages from his ex-girlfriend and asked about them, I was paranoid. The thing about emotional manipulation is that it works slowly. By the time you realize what is happening, you have already started doubting your own instincts. I spent hours analyzing my behavior, wondering if I really was too controlling, too jealous, too much. October 28th changed everything. It was the annual Halloween bar crawl that basically shut down Wells Street. Everyone from Northwestern was there, plus students from DePaul and Loyola. Aaron and his teammates had dressed as Vikings, an excuse to wear minimal clothing and show off months of training. I went as a vampire, which Aaron said was trying too hard to be sexy. We had been at the second bar for maybe an hour when Sierra walked in. Sierra was Aaron's high school girlfriend from Naperville, the one he claimed was ancient history. She was dressed as an angel, which felt like a joke the universe was playing on me. Aaron's entire demeanor changed the moment he saw her. His eyes lit up in a way they had not for me in months. Oh shit, Sierra's here. Dylan announced, loud enough for everyone to hear. This is about to get interesting. Aaron walked over to her immediately, leaving me standing with his teammates. They pulled out their phones and I could see them opening Snapchat. Marcus was already recording. The sick feeling in my stomach told me this was not a coincidence. For the next hour, Aaron and Sierra were inseparable. They did shots together. They danced to every song. They went outside for air 3 times. Each time his teammates would look at me and smirk. Other people started noticing too. I heard whispers, saw the looks of pity mixed with secondhand embarrassment. I finally went outside to find them. They were behind the bar and Sierra had her hand on his chest. Aaron was leaning down, whispering something that made her giggle. When he saw me, he did not even flinch. Instead, he waved me over like nothing was happening. Babe, you remember Sierra? He said casually. Before I could respond, someone tapped my shoulder. It was a girl I barely knew from my statistics class holding out her phone. I think you should see this, she said quietly. On her screen was a Snapchat story posted 2 minutes ago. The video showed Aaron and Sierra kissing against the brick wall. Not just a quick kiss, a full makeout session with his hands in her hair and her leg wrapped around his hip. The caption read Halloween magic with laughing emojis. I looked up at Aaron. He was watching me with this satisfied expression like he had just won something. Sierra was reapplying her lip gloss, pretending to be embarrassed but clearly thrilled with the attention. It was just a joke, Aaron said loud enough for everyone to hear. We were recreating old times for the story. You are not seriously mad about this? His teammates had formed a semicircle around us, all filming. Dylan started a chant, "She deserved it. She deserved it." Others joined in. Random drunk people who did not even know what was happening started laughing and recording. I stood there for maybe 10 seconds, watching Aaron soak in the attention, watching Sierra touch his arm possessively, watching strangers turn me into content for their social media. Then I walked away. No tears, no screaming, no giving them the reaction they wanted. The text started before I even reached my apartment. "You are being so dramatic right now. Everyone thinks you are crazy for walking out. Sierra means nothing. It was literally a joke. Come back and stop embarrassing both of us. This is why guys hate having girlfriends." 15 messages in total, each one more manipulative than the last. I turned off my phone and went to bed. The next morning, I had 43 notifications. Aaron had posted an Instagram story marathon between midnight and 4 in the morning. Videos of him dancing with random girls, shots with strangers, Sierra sitting on his lap at an after-party. Every single post was tagged with his teammates and captioned with variations of "freedom feels good" and "this is what happens when you cannot take a joke." But here is the thing Aaron did not know about me. I had been documenting everything for weeks. Every screenshot of him mocking me in group chats that Marcus's girlfriend had secretly sent me. Every video where his friends called me controlling while he laughed. Every text where he gaslit me into thinking I was crazy. If you are still watching at this point, hit that like button. Because what happened next is exactly why you should never underestimate someone you have been hurting. Sunday afternoon, Aaron showed up at my apartment. Not calling first, not texting, just pounding on my door at 2 in the afternoon. When I opened it, he looked rough, hungover, unshaven, wearing the same clothes from Friday night. "We need to talk about your behavior," he said, pushing past me into my living room. My behavior. After everything he had done, he came to lecture me about my behavior. Aaron launched into a speech about how I had humiliated him by walking out, how his friends thought I was unstable, how Sierra felt bad about the whole situation and wanted to apologize. He actually tried to make me feel guilty for ruining everyone's night with my dramatics. I let him talk for 20 minutes saying nothing, just recording everything on my phone that was sitting on the coffee table. Aaron was too busy ranting to notice the voice memo app was open. Finally, he said something that changed everything. "Look, the Sierra thing was planned. Okay, Dylan thought it would be funny to see if you would actually get jealous. It was like a test to see if you trusted me, and you failed. A test. They had orchestrated my public humiliation as a test." "Who else knew?" I asked calmly. Aaron shrugged. "Just the guys and Sierra, obviously. She thought it would be hilarious to mess with you since you were always so uptight about me having female friends." I nodded, still saying nothing. Aaron took my silence as acceptance. "So we can move past this now," he said, reaching for my hand. "I will make it up to you. We can go to that Italian place you like." I pulled my hand back. "I need some time to think." Aaron's face darkened. "Time to think? I just explained everything. It was a joke that went too far. I am here apologizing. What more do you want?" "I want you to leave," I said. "I will call you when I am ready to talk." He stood up, angry now. "You have 48 hours to get over this, Claire. After that, I am done playing these games." After he left, I sat down at my laptop and started compiling everything. The screenshots, the videos, the voice recording from today where he admitted to planning my humiliation. But I needed more. I needed him to hang himself with his own words. I texted Sierra. "Can we talk? I want to understand what happened Friday." She agreed to meet me at a Starbucks downtown. Sierra showed up wearing designer sunglasses indoors, trying to look sympathetic but unable to hide her satisfaction. "I want you to know it meant nothing," she said immediately. "Aaron and I have history, but it is not like that anymore." I played dumb, letting her talk. Sierra loved to talk. "The boys thought it would be funny," she continued. "Dylan messaged me last week saying Aaron needed to test if you were the jealous type. They offered to pay for my drinks all night if I played along." "Played along with what exactly?" I asked, voice recorder app running on my phone in my pocket. Sierra laughed. "Oh, you know, flirt a little, make you worried. The kiss was not supposed to happen, but Aaron had been drinking and he always did like to put on a show. The guys went crazy for it. Marcus must have posted it to like 6 different group chats." She pulled out her phone to show me the messages from Dylan planning the whole thing. I asked if she could airdrop them to me so I understood the full situation. Sierra, not the brightest, actually did it. Monday morning, I reached out to someone unexpected. Tom, a former rowing teammate of Aaron's who had quit the team after some unspecified drama. He agreed to meet me for coffee. "I am not surprised," Tom said when I told him what happened. "Aaron did something similar to his last girlfriend. They made her cry at formal last year, filmed it, turned it into some big joke. She transferred schools. Would you be willing to tell someone else that?" I asked. Tom hesitated. "What are you planning?" "Justice," I said simply. He agreed to back me up if needed. Tuesday arrived. Aaron's 48-hour deadline. He texted me that morning, "Time's up. Are we doing this or not?" I replied, "Come over at 7. We need to have an honest conversation." Aaron showed up early at 6:30 with grocery store flowers and that smile that used to work on me. I had set up my laptop on the kitchen counter, screen dark but recording everything. "I knew you would come around," he said, setting down the flowers. "You are too smart to throw away 2 years over nothing." I poured us both wine, his favorite Pinot Noir that I had bought specifically for this moment. We sat on the couch and I let him think he was winning. Tell me about Friday, I said. I want to understand your perspective completely. Aaron relaxed, launching into his version where he was the victim of peer pressure and alcohol, where Sierra came onto him, where the kiss meant nothing, where I overreacted to harmless fun. But you said it was planned. I reminded him. He backtracked. Not planned exactly. The guys just thought it would be funny if Sierra showed up. I did not know she would take it that far. So you did not tell Dylan to invite her? Aaron hesitated. Maybe I mentioned she might be fun to have around, but not to hurt you, just to hang out. I pulled out my phone and showed him the screenshots Sierra had sent. Dylan explicitly saying Aaron wanted to put Claire in her place and show her she is not that special. Aaron's face went pale. Where did you get those? Does it matter? I asked. Is it true? He stood up, pacing now. You went behind my back to Sierra? Are you insane? Answer the question, Aaron. Did you plan to humiliate me? He spun around, angry now. You want the truth? Yes. Yes. I thought it would be funny to knock you down a peg. You have been acting like you are better than me for months. Like I am lucky to have you. So yeah, I wanted to remind you that I have options. Options. I repeated. Is that what Sierra is? Aaron laughed, but it was cruel. Sierra is just one option. I could have any girl at Northwestern. You should be grateful I chose you. Grateful, I said, standing up. I should be grateful that my boyfriend publicly humiliated me. It would not have been humiliating if you had just laughed along like a normal person instead of storming off like a child. I walked to my laptop and turned it around, showing him the recording in progress. Aaron's face went from pale to red to purple in seconds. You recorded this? You fucking recorded me? Every word, I said calmly. Just like your friends recorded me Friday night. Aaron lunged for the laptop, but I had already saved the file to the cloud. He grabbed my wrist, hard enough to leave marks. Delete it. Delete it right now, Claire. Let go of me, I said, voice steady despite my racing heart. He squeezed harder. I said delete it. And I said let go. For a moment, I thought he might actually hit me. Then he seemed to remember himself and released my wrist, stepping back. You are crazy, he said. You are actually fucking crazy. No, I said. I am done. And you are about to face consequences for the first time in your life. Before we go any further, if you have made it this far into the story, please subscribe to the channel, because what happened next is exactly why people like Aaron should never underestimate the people they hurt. Aaron left my apartment threatening to ruin my reputation. To tell everyone I was a psycho who illegally recorded him. To make sure no guy at Northwestern would ever date me again. What he did not know was that I had already submitted a formal complaint to Northwestern's rowing coach about the planned harassment, complete with screenshots and recordings. I also sent everything to the president of his fraternity, where apparently this was not his first incident of questionable behavior with women. But the real beauty of my plan came from an unexpected place. Aaron had recently been selected for a prestigious summer internship at a consulting firm downtown, the kind that could launch his entire career. His LinkedIn was full of posts about leadership and integrity. I created an anonymous email account and sent one message to the HR department of that firm. The subject line read, "Concerning behavior from your future intern." I attached the recording where Aaron admitted to orchestrating my public humiliation, the screenshots of him calling me derogatory names in group chats, and a brief explanation of the situation. I did not ask them to rescind his offer. I simply said I thought they should know who they were hiring. Wednesday morning, my phone exploded with texts from numbers I did not recognize. Aaron's teammates were messaging me, calling me vindictive, saying I was ruining his life over a prank. Marcus threatened to expose my psycho behavior to the whole campus. Dylan said I would regret this. Justin called me names I will not repeat. I screenshot every single message and added them to my growing file. Thursday afternoon, Tom texted me. Aaron got called into the coach's office this morning, came out looking like he had been crying. Friday, the dominoes started falling. Aaron's internship offer was rescinded. The rowing coach issued a formal warning that one more incident would result in removal from the team. The fraternity voted to suspend him pending investigation. Aaron showed up at my apartment that night, drunk and desperate. He stood outside my building screaming my name until neighbors called security. I watched from my window as campus police escorted him away. The text from him became increasingly unhinged. You destroyed my future. That internship was everything to me. My parents are asking why the offer was pulled. Everyone knows what you did. No one will ever love someone as vindictive as you. I will make you pay for this. I forwarded every threat to campus police and filed for a no-contact order. Sierra reached out trying to do damage control, saying she never meant for things to go this far, that it was just supposed to be harmless fun. I replied with one message, harmless for who? She blocked me immediately. The most satisfying moment came 2 weeks later. Aaron had to attend a mandatory workshop on harassment and respect as part of his fraternity suspension. The workshop leader, a woman I knew from the campus advocacy center, who had helped me file the formal complaints. She told me later that Aaron spent the entire session with his head down, not saying a word. His social media went dark. No more Instagram stories of wild nights out. No more Snapchats with random girls. His LinkedIn post about the internship quietly disappeared. Meanwhile, I started getting messages from other girls. Two of Aaron's exes reached out saying he had done similar things to them, but they never had proof. Three girls from his classes said he had made them uncomfortable, but they thought they were overreacting. One freshman told me he had cornered her at a party the week before we started dating, insisting she owed him her number because he had bought her a drink. I connected all of them with the campus advocacy center. By December, Aaron had become a cautionary tale whispered about at parties. The guy who lost everything because he thought humiliating his girlfriend would be funny. His teammates distanced themselves. The rowing team had a new policy about respectful behavior representing the university. I graduated last spring with honors. Aaron did not attend the ceremony despite having technically graduated too. I heard from Tom that he moved back to his parents' house in Naperville working at his dad's insurance company, a far cry from the prestigious consulting career he had planned. The last time I saw Aaron was at a Cubs game in July. I was there with my new internship cohort from a marketing firm downtown. He was serving beer at one of the concession stands. Our eyes met for just a moment. He looked away first. Some people might say I went too far, that I should have just walked away and let karma handle it. But here is what those people do not understand. Aaron was never going to face karma without help. Guys like him go through life hurting people and calling it jokes, destroying self-esteem and calling their victims dramatic, planning humiliation and calling it harmless fun. I did not ruin Aaron's life. I simply made sure he faced consequences for his choices. Every single thing that happened to him was a direct result of his own actions, his own words, his own cruelty played back for the right audience. He thought making me a joke would put me in my place. Instead, I showed him exactly where he belonged, facing the truth of who he really was without his teammates to laugh along or his charm to smooth it over. The recording of him admitting to planning my humiliation. I still have it. Every screenshot, every threat, every piece of evidence sits in a folder on my laptop titled Never Again. Not because I plan to use it, but because it reminds me of my own strength when someone tried to convince me I was weak. Aaron taught me something valuable, though probably not what he intended. He taught me that when someone shows you who they really are, when they hurt you and call it humor, when they humiliate you and call it harmless, when they manipulate you and call it love, you do not owe them forgiveness. You do not owe them silence. You do not owe them protection from their own consequences. You owe yourself the truth. And sometimes the truth is that the person trying to break you is far more fragile than you ever were. I heard Aaron started dating someone new recently, a girl from his hometown who does not know the full story. I hope he has changed. I hope he treats her better. But if he does not, well, she will learn what I learned. That the moment someone tries to break you for entertainment is not the moment you break. It is the moment you realize exactly how much power you have.